Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Aussie Starcraft as we continue this series between our red Zerg in the bottom left hand corner, STLife. Top right hand corner we have our blue Protoss player Patience playing for Team Azubu. This is a best of 5 series played as the finals of the losers bracket at Dreamhack Winter. So it is a best of 5 series. STLife taking the lead in this series. I'm not spoiling anything, as you can see it's written down there below. If you missed game 1, it was a pretty epic game on Belshare Vestige. Go and check it out. The link will be in the video down below, so go and check that one out. But Life taking a 1-0 lead in this series, and he needs 2 more victories to try and close it out. But Patience, our blue Protoss player, has just been playing absolutely phenomenally in this series, so we'll see if Patience is able to stage a comeback here, or if Life will just be able to continue just the relentless aggression that we saw out of him last game on Belshare Vestige. So it's just been a great tournament. I hope you guys have been enjoying Dreamhack Winter as much as I have. I'm sure glad they released a lot of the replays for this. Certainly enjoyed casting a lot of them. There were a number of big tournaments during December. Unfortunately, can't get the replay packs for all of those, but certainly going to cast as much of Dreamhack Winter as we can. Was some of the best players in the world competing there, and they just such great games. Can't say how epic some of these games have been. Certainly there's a lot of games that stand out. There was a Pulp game that went on the channel a couple of days ago. If you missed that, you certainly missed a great Terran versus Zerg. It was absolutely phenomenal. I think it was Pulp versus Hyun. The deciding game was absolutely awesome. And yeah, just so many games that have been great. So Hyun going for a slightly different opening on Yonsu, deciding to grab his spawning pool before his natural. Now throwing down the hatchery there. It'll be interesting to see if he goes for a third hatchery as quickly as he did on Belshare Vestige, or if he decides to go for some sort of 2-base timing. You can see that Patience has decided as usual to wall in around his mineral patch. I'm very curious how this would hold up to some very early aggression. I'm wondering if it would hold up as well as perhaps walling off at the main. I think I'd be curious to see. I know players that decide to favour the early Zergling aggression, like Jaedong, might have a little bit to say about choosing to wall off in this manner, but Patience for the most part seems to think it's the way to go, and who am I to disagree with Patience? So we'd love to see a little bit of early aggression out of our Zerg players, but unfortunately with things like the Mothership Core in play and Heart of the Swarm, it just makes it so much more difficult to do that successfully. You can see that Life going to chase away this probe, make sure it doesn't get any pesky pylons up in play too early. A few workers going to transfer their way down to the natural, and second queen on the way, so fairly conventional opening out of Life. Patience likewise going for a similar build to what we've seen from on Yonsu in the past. The Mothership Core actually starting to move out though, so I wonder if after this first Stalker we'll indeed see a second, and if they will try and put a little bit of pressure on Life, or whether these units are mainly for a defensive purpose. So Stalker's going to clean up this Zergling. Nice little probe kill there, or did the Stalker in fact get that kill? Yeah, it looks like one of our champion probes did it. Who was the lucky probe? Oh, I feel like this might be an exercise in fruition. One of these probes got the kill. We're not going to stop till we find it. Where is it? There's a ninja probe. Did it sneak to the other base? Yes, there he is. Found it. Okay, got him. Alright, so that our hero probe that got first blood on the Zergling. A few more Zerglings going to continue scouting out, but Patience going to wall off with a few extra gateways. So Patience very likely to be going for some early aggression, throwing up his proxy pylon now. He does have his first Stalker on the field, but the Stalker actually taking a lot of damage from these 2 queens. Mothership Core as well going to be down here to apply just a little bit of pressure. Looks like in short order we'll actually have three warp gates up, so we could see quite a bit of early pressure out of Patience if he so decides. We have three gateways established, so Overlord here in the main base going for a bit of a scout, going to get himself in a little bit of strife there. This Stalker here continuing to harass the queens, managing to pick off a creep tumor there, but a further creep tumor will push its way forward. Mothership Core is almost dead, so wanting to be very careful here. A few more zealots going to be warping in down here. A second warp-in cycle might be just what he needs to put some pressure on. There's actually a third base up now from Life. Zergling's trying to clean out this set of rocks to make for a more defensively strong position, able to move very quickly between the natural and third base. But looks like we've actually got a robo as well, so gonna see some immortals following up here. These two queens actually choosing to commit to chase these zealots, which is quite rare. These 6 zealots could actually do substantial damage, both the zerglings and the queen. Surprised to not see the stalkers down here as well. Between the 6 zealots and the stalkers, they could actually do quite a lot of damage to Life. Life finally getting some roaches out now, but currently there's just 2 queens and some zerglings to try and take these zealots on. So zealots going to be able to force these zerglings and queens back away from the pylon. Life wanting to get this pylon if at all possible. The zerglings fast enough to make their way around, and that pylon's going to go down, which will signal the end of this aggression from Patience. Won't want these zealots to die needlessly, so after cleaning up the zerglings, the remaining 5 zealots will probably fall back. A few roaches are going to make their way through, but Patience, as his mothership core and an immortal up here, these roaches aren't going to be able to do a whole lot of damage here, and Patience I think has seen that, is quite confidently walled in a few of those roaches to pick them off. A few more sentries on the way, 2 immortals in play, a third one now on the way. So looks like we might be seeing a 2 base sentry immortal timing here. 6 sentries, 2 immortals, yep. We've got all the pieces in play that we need. A few more gateways going down now to carry this aggression on. The mothership core actually going to have to stick around to try and defend the home base. Actually got a warp prism coming in as well. I really like this touch out of Patience. I think the warp prisms are frequently overlooked, particularly, oh no, the immortal's going to get picked off here, and that's a big win for Life. They're able to get the free immortal. Unfortunately, there's not going to be a whole lot of DPS here now to kill off these roaches. It's going to photon overcharge to kill the roaches that are stuck on this side of the force field, but these roaches will get some free sentry kills, and the base is a little bit exposed to any potential Zerg counterattack. So Patience going to have to pull back with his sentries and immortals. And we have Life quickly establishing a few spine crawlers to deal with that timing attack that's inbound. Do have 2 immortals actually in the warp prism here, and there's quite a potent little force. You can airlift the immortals into the main base and warp in a few sentries to block the ramp, and then have your immortals just muscle their way through the queens and drones. So immortals and any warped in zealot. So this little warp prism move, wherever it's gone, is actually quite a potent push into the Zerg main base if it actually manages to get off the ground. So mothership core continuing to be very irritating, actually up to 5 kills. One of the things I love about Patience is just how much work his mothership core does during the battle. It just progresses consistently, I think is the word we want to go with. Consistently doing just so much work. These roaches sitting in the main base, which is exactly where they want to be, is going to make it difficult for Patience to do what he's intending to do here. The 2 immortals are getting dropped in here. Will they pick off a queen? Yes, they will. Queen does go down. Will Patience pick off these? Oh, no, he's too busy. He's watching the Zerg counter-attacking his main base. Immortals are going to get picked off. Does manage to save one. Unfortunately, not managing to make the most of that attack. The sentries and immortals now in the main base, trying to defend against these roaches. Roaches getting quite a few kills on these probes here. Just very sneaky from Life, managing to make their way in. Oh, it's such a shame. Patience could have executed that attack so much better in the main, but having to defend his own base from that counter attack from Life is potentially what saved Life's main base. Warp in of a few sentries here could have left those immortals running havoc in the main base. And as we can see, it's exactly what Patience intends to do now. You can see him dropping on the ramp. Will the force field get... No, the force field doesn't get down. Patience forced to pull out of that. Almost able to execute it, but we can see the creep just so important for vision. It's twice here that the creep has foiled Patience over this series of games. The vision is all important for the Zerg players, not just the movement speed that you get from being on it. The creep itself giving Patience the vision he needs to see what this warp prism's up to. Life finally able to get this third base up, going to get his gas going now, and actually going to go for a spire as well. We actually haven't seen as much Mulus play out of Life as perhaps we've seen out of other Zerg players. Life instead tending to favour the Roach Hydra composition a lot of his matchups, and we can see why. He's been very effective with it thus far. Going through the main bracket undefeated except for Tasia, and now showing just how strong he is against Patience as well. But these Colossi are going to rack in a lot of easy Roach kills here. Colossi, no extended thermal lances yet, but just able to pick off those Roaches from well outside the Roach's effective range. So one Roach going to make a valiant last stand here on the edge of the map, but explode in a stream of gore, and that'll seal up Patience base. If I had $1 for every time Life's managed to sneak some units into Patience base, I think I'd be a very rich man. These Colossi unfortunately getting caught there on the low ground, picked off. Poor unfortunate Roach, but look, Life's going to slip in again now that the rocks are down. So these Zerglings able to harass the workers a little bit more and delay mining. Have some more Prism harass going on from Patience here. In Life's expansion, Life actually got a lot of Mutalisk on the way. 12 Mutalisk is going to put an end to this Warp Prism. Oh, the Warp Prism gets picked off with the Immortal, and that's such a big pickup for Patience. Patience going to be left trying to defend these two bases, unable to get his third base up, and we actually have a fourth and a fifth base now on the way for Life. So Life actually getting an edge in game number 2. Life unable to quite execute that timing attack that he'd been working on. The Mutalisk now on the field. We have 11 already out, 5 more on the way. There's going to be a scary Mutalisk cloud. There's actually no static defense in the main base. Twilight Council now on the way, but these Stalkers are all that stands between Patience and certain death. Zerglings are making another run through into the natural expansion. Photon Cannon going up again, but what can one Photon Cannon do against this many Zerglings? Not a whole lot, but apparently the Colossus can do plenty. So going to clean up that counterattack, but the Mutalisk now in the main, racking up the workers kill here, is going to cancel the mining on the base. Life deciding to pick off the pylon there and unpower the Twilight Council. Now the Council isn't going to be able to research Blink. If he picks off this pylon, 4 gateways are going to be unpowered as well. So Life just using these Mutalisks to great effect here. Unfortunately, hovering for just a little bit too long between the Stalkers, going to lose quite a few of them unnecessarily. Pull out just as the Photon Overcharge goes down and regroup for some, or actually not regroup, he's going to be pulling back to defend. So a swarm of Zerglings has been bred in to try and counter this Protoss counterattack. The Colossi is going to go down to these Mutalisks, and the Mutalisks are going to mop up the remainder of Patience forces. So Patience actually looks to be in dire straits here. The Stalkers marching across the map, but there are so many Zerglings here. Patience going to GG, sees the fruitlessness of trying to engage with Stalkers against this many Zerglings and Mutalisks. So Life able to round out game number 2 as well. So Life in fine form. So looks like Patience Protoss vs Zerg just suffering a little bit compared to his Protoss vs Terran, which was quite impeccable that we saw from him earlier on. So Life's taken a 2-0 lead in this series. Will Patience be able to mount a comeback, or will Life seal out this series 3-0? We'll see you in game number 3. Thanks guys.